Hey guys, I'm talking here about establishing test validity and reliability. So just for you to get the background, why is it important for us to do the test validity and reliability? As educators, we need to know whether the tests that we are giving our students are appropriate or valid, and then whether the tests that we are giving our students are consistent or reliable. So class, I would like to redefine again your validity. So I would like to emphasize the definition of validity. When I say validity, it measures what it intends to measure. And then when I talk about reliability means it is being measured consistently. Okay, so it talks about the consistency of the instrument that we have or the test that we have. Validity and credibility or reliability, I mean, are very important concepts when we are talking about research. So in research, we are very certain or we are very particular that the test or assessment that we are using should be valid and reliable. In education, if you have noticed, no, parang hindi naman trend na like the major exam, we will be testing it for validity. It's not yet a trend in education. It's also not a trend in education that we will be testing for the reliability of our examinations. Diba? Kung na-notice nyo, parang wala naman kayong ganong naririnig when it comes to educating our students. However, in assessment, we are putting emphasis to this because of the fact that we need our assessment to be valid and reliable. Just picture this, for example, that you are handling a science class. And then all of your students in the science class got low scores in your exam. Okay? Halimbawa lahat ng student mo on the first grading period bagsak sa science exam mo. As a teacher, you need to think, is the instrument or is the exam that I made valid? Or is the exam that I made reliable? Baka yung subject mo science, tapos nag-copy-paste ka ng questionnaire sa internet, at saka yung topic na na-copy-paste mo sa internet is not actually part of the topics that are being discussed. Okay? So that's where and when we think about validity and reliability. And right now, okay, we are already gaining consciousness by asking the question, is the assessment I'm giving my students valid and reliable? Okay? Hindi kasi pwede na, for example, if Almira, RG, later on, Cindy, you will become teachers, sasabihin nyo lang na, ay, gagawa ako ng exam kasi mula noon hanggang ngayon, required ako na gumawa ng first grading, second grading, third grading period. Hindi tayo ganon bilang educators. We need to look into it that each item of the examinations that we are giving our students are actually congruent to the outcomes that we would want them to attain. So they should be congruent to the outcomes that we would want them to attain. Okay? So kung kaya, we will be talking about the test validity and reliability. So guys, one of the things that we do in assessment for validity and reliability is what we refer to as your test, retest, reliability. Okay, may tinatawag tayong test, retest, reliability. Pag sinabi kong test, retest, reliability, try to look into the slide right now. Okay, plus ito yung ginagawa mo sa test, retest. Okay, look at the words first, test, tapos retest. Ibig sabihin, nagbigay ka ng test, magti-test ka ulit. To test again. Test, test again. Okay, so what do we do here as teachers? You give the test for the first time, and then after 30 minutes to 6 months, you will repeat the test again. Okay, after 30 minutes to 6 months, you will repeat the same test again. Okay, the same test. Take 2 lang. Ano po yung purpose? Para malaman kung consistent yung responses ng students mo on the first examination and the second take of the same examination. And after your students has taken the examination, we will do a statistical test. And that statistical test is referred to as your Pearson's R. May tinatawag tayong statistical test na Pearson's R. If you can recall your lessons in statistics, the complete name of this is your Pearson's product moment correlation. Okay, may tinatawag tayo class na Pearson's product moment correlation. Okay, that's what the test is referred to in your statistics. Now, when I talk about these statistical tests, your Pearson R correlation, you can see the formula on screen. Okay, nakikita nyo yung formula on screen. Don't worry, I will not be asking you to compute for the value of R during your examination. That's a competency under your statistics test, okay, or statistics subject. But if you would look at the formula, that would simply mean that this statistical value is complicated to attain, and then that this statistical value would entail a lot of computations. Okay? So N, dapat guys ma-remember na natin that when we talk about small n, that refers to the sample size. The big N is usually the population size. Okay? So class, pag nakikita natin dito yung small n, that would mean ilang students yung kumuha ng exam. Ilang students yung nag-participate sa research mo. Or ilan yung study sample size mo. That's the N there. Okay? This E symbol here is your summation symbol. And then you have your squared, summation, still, then squared. So, dati-rate, I don't know if in your high school days you experienced computing this manually. But right now, I can tell you that these things are computed already automatically. You can use spreadsheet softwares. You can use your spreadsheet softwares. Example, your Microsoft Excel to compute for the Pearson's R. And then we commonly use your SPSS. SPSS class as in the statistical package for social sciences. Okay? So, ano po yung Pearson-R correlation? Yung Pearson-R correlation is used to determine the correlation coefficient. Pag sinabi ko class na correlation coefficient, just think of it that I am concerned of the relationship. Okay? I am concerned of the relationship. And in the case of assessment in education, gusto ko class i-check kapag yung relationship ng take 1 ng exam at saka ng take 2 ng exam is positive or negative. Okay? My goal is to check whether the take 1 exam scores and the take 2 exam scores have a positive relationship. That's why we are doing your Pearson's R or Pearson's coefficient. Okay? Now, tingnan natin yung next slide. On the next slide, you will be able to see that the values of Pearson's R would range from -1 to +1. Tandaan ha, yung value ng Pearson R nagre-range from -1 to +1. Ano pong ibig sabihin yan? -1 class is negative relationship, +1 is perfect positive correlation. And in between, may mga values ka. For example, -0.76, -0.52, you have 0.34, you have 0.33. Okay? Now, if you would look at these charts, the charts here on the right is a very good reflection of what a correlation is. Okay? This reflects what a correlation is. So class, usually, okay, pag nagpa-plot tayo, usually you have the independent variable. Okay? You have the independent variable in the x-axis, and then the dependent variable is the y-axis. Okay? Kindly try to recall ha, kung ano yung x at saka yung y-axis. Pag sinabi kong x-axis, ito po yung x-axis natin. Yung horizontal line natin, class, is referred to as your x-axis. The vertical line here is referred to as your y-axis. Now, ano po yung two dots na yan? No? Halimbawa, in our case, since we are talking about assessment, let's say, for example, that in the x-axis, we are talking about, in the x-axis, this is the take 1 of the exams. In the y-axis, this is the take 2 of the exams. So, class, kapag makikita nyo, for example, na nandito yung score, dito sa red dot, okay? Makikita ko na, yung score niya sa take 1, siguro 6. Ang score niya sa take 2 is at around 5. For this one naman, yung score niya sa take 1, pag i-align ko dito, it's 8. The score on take 2 is already 9. Okay, so basically, class, the dots there would reflect the different values that were found in the two sets of data. In the case that I am giving you, in take 1 and in take 2. Now, kapag matapos mo nang ma-plot ang mga data na yan, pagkatapos, class, it would appear that all the dots are clumped in this direction. I can conclude that there is a positive correlation. At saka kapag sinabi ko, class, na positive correlation, ibig sabihin, when one value increases, the other value also increases. Okay? Parang ganito lang. Point nyo, for example, ako yung teacher. Nagbigay ako ng exam kay Almira, kay Shelica, tapos kay Cindy, at saka kay Mary Grace. Kapag ang score ni Almira sa take 1 ng exam 6, si Shelica 7, si Cindy 7, tapos si Mary Grace 8. Okay? Remember 6, 7, 7, 8. Pag take 2 ng exam, yung score ni Almira, 6 na maintain niya. Si Shelica, na-maintain niya yung score niya sa 7. Si Cindy naging 8 yung score, si Mary Grace naging 9. So class, from there, from those raw scores, I will be able to see na, okay, si Almira, mataas naman talaga kasi yung performance nung take 1. Pagkatapos nung take 2, na-maintain niya. Pagkatapos, ito namang si Shelica, mataas yung performance nung take 1, na-maintain niya din pag take 2. Si Cindy at si Mary Grace, mas tumaas yung scores pagka take 2 ng exam. That indicates, class, that there is a positive relationship. Okay? That indicates that there is a positive relationship. Pero kapag negative naman, parang yung nangyari is that si RG nag-take ng exam take 1 na perfect niya. Tapos pagka take 2, bakit parang biglang bumaba yung scores? Okay? So it would mean that, there's something wrong. Anong nangyari sa exam? Or anong nangyari kay RG? Bakit naging ganun yung scores? Okay? So that's why in test, retest, reliability, we are happy. It is our goal that there should be a positive correlation between the two variables. Okay? There should be a positive correlation between two variables. Now, if you will read the next bullet there, it says, in test reliability, we aim for high positive correlation. Again, in test reliability, we aim for high positive correlation to mean that there is consistency in the way the student answers the test taken. Okay? Tulad ng example ko kanina, Almira, 6-6. Okay, then you have Shelica, 6-6 or 7-7. Si Cindy, 7-8. At saka yung last example ko, yung 8 naging 9. Meaning consistent yung scores nila. That's the type of exam that we would want to see. Hindi pa pwede na halimbawa si Mariel, pag-take niya ng exam, first exam 10. Tapos the same exam, tinake ulit ni Mariel, naging 3. So mapapaisip ka, paano na 10 ni Mariel? Is it because the items are too easy? Is it because nakuha sa chamba? Is it because of chance that she got high scores in the examinations? Or is there something wrong with the exams? Why is the exam not reliable? Okay? So again, pag sinabi natin reliability, we would want consistency. At saka kapag sinabi kong consistency, anong type of relationship yun, guys? Positive or negative? Pag sinabi kong consistency, what type of relationship am I expecting? Yes?
Positive.
Okay, very good. We are expecting a positive type of correlation. Okay? So again, class, makikita natin this one is a perfect correlation. Bakit po perfect? Kasi kung makikita ninyo, nakapatong talaga siya sa line. Tapos class, the value is 1. Okay? Whereas this one is a negative correlation, a perfect negative correlation on the right side of the screen. Now, pag tatanungin din kayo later on statistics or in assessment, pag sinabi natin again, positive correlation, when one value increases, the other value also increases. Pag negative correlation, when one value increases, the other value decreases. Okay? The other value decreases. Bigyan natin ng sample. Class, let's say for example, the number of hours of study and your scores in examination. Palagay nyo, positive relationship yan or negative relationship? Anybody? Kapag nahihiya, pwedeng gamitin ng chat box. Number of hours of study pagtapos scores sa examination. Positive relationship or negative relationship? Sige na. Mag-isip-isip. Kapag marami yung hours of study mo, if the hours of study would increase, ano nga bang mangyayari sa scores mo sa exam? Mag-i-increase nga ba or mag-decrease? Okay, very good. Okay, I can see your chats, I can see your answers. So plus that's an example of positive correlation. Kasi we anticipate, we hypothesize that if the number of hours would increase, the scores in the exam would also increase. Okay, another example, level of stress and scores in examination. Okay? Level of stress and scores in examination. Hypothesize lang natin. Level of stress and scores in exam. Sige nga. Kapag mataas yung stress mo, halimbawa super stress ka, super pagod ka, what's the tendency? Okay? You will have the tendency to have low scores. Right? You will have tendency to have low scores. And because of that, it's negative relationship. Okay? That's more of statistics, but then it has applications also in assessment. Now, I would want you to memorize this one, okay? Not just for the purpose of memorizing it, but for the purpose also of understanding the degree of relationship. Okay? Plus, may positive, negative sign yan before. So, for example, the value is negative 0.45. Halimbawa, plus the value is negative 0.45. From that, I will be able to say that there is a negative marked relationship. Okay? So plus negative, ibig sabihin inverse yung relationship pagkatapos the relationship is substantial or the relationship is marked. Okay? So I would want you to memorize this one, these values. I will be giving you assessments as to the application of these values. Okay? So class, kapag negligible or weak yung relationship, ibig sabihin class, halimbawa sinabi ko, the degree of beauty and then the tendency to have boyfriend. Pag sinabi ko class na yung relationship negligible, ibig sabihin, maganda ka man o pangit, hindi siya yung major factor to identify whether magkaka-boyfriend ka or hindi. Okay? That's the meaning of negligible relationship. Pag sinabi ko namang very strong relationship, let's say for example, the number of hours of study has a strong relationship on the scores of the students. That would mean class that kapag nag-i-increase yung pag-aaral time mo, yung hours mo of studying, tumataas din yung scores mo. Kasi there's a very strong relationship. Okay? Then, the next thing is that we need to determine the significance of the correlation. Plus, in statistics, we do not content ourselves by just saying, ay, sir, weak relationship, ay, substantial relationship, ay, very strong relationship. So, class, need nating alamin yung significance ng correlation. And to determine if the correlation is free of certain errors, we test for significance. Again ha, pag gusto kong malaman na walang error yung data gathering ko, dapat class it will be tested for significance. Okay? Ano pong ibig sabihin ng significance? Kapag significant po siya, it means that the probability of the two variables being related is free of errors. Okay? Halimbawa, I will show you the example on the next slide. So, class, paano natin malalaman na significant siya? May tinatawag tayong critical value at saka computed value. Okay? May tinatawag tayong critical value at saka computed value. Allow me to correct that first. So class, it is considered to be significant if the computed value is greater than the critical value. Okay? Again, class, it is considered to be significant if the computed value is greater than the critical value. Sir, ano po yung critical value? Guys, you can see that in your statistics textbook. Makikita nyo sa appendix ng statistics textbook kung ano yung mga critical values. Okay? Now, when the test statistic is already computed at saka yung computed value mas mataas kaysa sa critical value, it means that your test is significant. It means that your test is significant. Now, I would want you to focus on this table. Guys, yung table po na nakikita ninyo, I retrieved this from the internet. This is a good example. This is a particular example of an SPSS table. Okay? Ito po yung table na nag-generate after the SPSS analysis. Now, class, makikita po natin dito 0.513. You will be able to see here the value 0.513. That's the relationship between the height and the weight. Okay? Yan po yung relationship between the height and the weight. Huwag nyo na pong tingnan itong dalawa kasi height and height yan. Self to self, hindi po yan very important. Yung important po is itong height and weight. The relationship between height and weight is 0.513. Now, Kapag babalik ako doon sa interpretation natin, pag sinabi kong 0.513, what type of relationship siya, guys? Pag sinabi kong 0.513, what type of relationship is it? Is it negligible? Is it weak? Is it substantial? Strong or very strong? Sige na, pag sinabi kong 0.51, okay? 0.513. 0.513. Others, saan nabibilong yung 0.513? Is it a strong relationship nga ba? Or substantial relationship siya? Tingnan nyo, 0.513.
Substantial, sir.
Okay. So in that case, thank you, that will be substantial relationship. Okay? Substantial relationship. Now, ano po yung itong 0.000? If you can recall your lessons in statistics class, your 0.000 there is your p-value. Okay? Your 0.00 there is your p-value. And another way for us to know if it is significant is that if the p-value is less than the set level of significance. Again, another way for us to know kapag significant siya or hindi is that if the p-value is less than the set level of significance, which is usually 0.05. Plus, kapag titignan po natin sa example na napapakita ko sa screen, makikita po natin that the set level of significance is 0.01. The set level of significance is 0.01. And then the p-value plus is 0.000, which would mean, significant nga ba siya, class, or hindi? Ang p ko, 0.000. Ang alpha level ko or set level of significance, 0.01. Is it significant or not? Sige na. That's the last question before this session ends. Is it significant or not? Considering na yung p-value ko, 0, as in 0.000. Yes. Is it significant or not? Your answers? Sige na. Your answers. Makukonsider ko nga ba siyang significant? Okay? Makukonsider ko nga ba siyang significant? Plus perhaps for you to do it, try to write the p-value. The p-value is 0.0. Then the set level of significance in this case is 0.01. Plus it will be less than. Kasi mas malaki to, di ba? Okay? It's a less than sign. So, it's considered to be significant. Okay? Tama, RG, it's considered to be significant. And another way for us to see, and for us to say that it is significant is, kita nyo tong dalawang symbol na yan, na sinisquare ko, class. That's your asterisk there. That would signal that the test is significant. Okay? Okay.